All right, so today we're kind of wrapping it up, and I just wanted to talk to you about the online 500-hour yoga. A special guest today who's going to be helping us because she is your student support coach throughout the program. Hi, Patty. Yay. Okay, I can hear
Good
you. So
morning.
I know that my headphones are working now because I can hear you. And welcome everybody that's joining. How are you? If you guys have any specific questions about the 500-hour teacher training, please feel free to post them in the comments so that we can answer them as they come in. So Patty, do you just want to introduce yourself real quick so everybody knows who you are and what you kind of do for the program?
Hi, I'm Patty. I have gone through Crystal's 200 and 500-hour teacher training, and now I have the privilege of being your success coach. So I am here for technical support, moral support. I'm just kind of here on the back end for questions, anything that you need to get through the course. I'm just here for you.
And first of all, it's my privilege to have you as part of the program. Patty's so awesome. Everybody loves her, and she just really does offer a lot of support and is really good at making people not feel stupid for asking questions or anything like that. And that was a really important part for me. I want somebody who's going to have patience with everybody who's going through the program because there's enough to learn in a yoga teacher training without having to worry about where do I need to go online? What's due next week? What do I need to be doing? Can I ask this question that I think is stupid? You don't want to have to be worrying about all of those things. So Patty does a really good job with handling all that. And she was really one of the, she was just really absorbed everything that I taught in the training, specifically with alignment. And so she gives a lot of feedback on alignment, which is really important, but we'll kind of get into that in a little bit. So first of all, I just want to tell you all how to sign up. I've had a couple questions on how to sign up. And what you can do is just go to my website. It's crystalgray.me. And I'll make sure to put that in the title. If anybody's watching and you want to put that in the comments and you know what the website is, you can do that. So just crystalgray.me and then /300 dash hour dash training. And the reason why, don't get confused, why does it say 300 hour whenever it's a 500 hour? So just so you all know the difference between 300 hour and 500 hour or 200 hour, what is all of this? The 200 hour is the foundational yoga teacher training that most of you have taken. Maybe you haven't. If you haven't taken a 200 hour, don't worry, I offer those as well. One will be coming up in January. But for those of you that have taken a 200 hour, then what you do is you don't have to, but if you really want to propel your business forward with a training like mine, because that's really what we focus on, is deepening your practice, embodying what it means to be a yoga teacher, and then building a following so you can create a business, right? And then there's the links. Thank you so much, Patty. I didn't want to put pressure on you to have to do that while you were live with me. But then you would take a 300 hour if you want to do that. Okay, so combine the 300 with the 200, that gives you a 500 hour certificate. So basically what you could do is you can then register with the Yoga Alliance as a 500 hour yoga teacher if you decide to register with them. If you don't, what you can call yourself is a certified yoga teacher at the 500 hour level. So that would look like CYT 500. If you register with the Yoga Alliance, then it would look like RYT 500. If you're only a 200 hour level teacher, which you can be successful just having that, it's totally fine. You would be an RYT 200 if you register with the Yoga Alliance, or a CYT 200 if you decide not to, certified yoga teacher. I think that's important to get out of the way because I've had a lot of questions about that too. Even with people who have gone through trainings, they don't even, know, they weren't really made aware of what the Yoga Alliance is. We could talk about that for an hour in itself. So I'm not going to get into the Yoga Alliance. I will tell you that my training coming up in August is registered with the Yoga Alliance. There is a special exemption for this year on online yoga teacher trainings. So if you take an online yoga teacher training that has affiliation with the Yoga Alliance, then you can register with them for this year. So Patty, I just want to ask you a question, which maybe you can shed some light and give your perspective on. Right now, some things are starting to open up, and some people are thinking, well, now that there are in-person yoga teacher trainings, I kind of want to do that. Like, why would I want to take an online training with Crystal whenever I could be taking an in-person training, say locally, right? Because probably most people would be doing it locally rather than like traveling to Thailand or something at this point. So what would you say to that?
Well, number one, I would say that this training with you never actually feels like it's online. It really feels in person. But the thing is that because it's online, there's such a network and community of women that we build. Like we have women in Canada and all over the US that are taking
Yeah.
courses with you, and just this amazing like circle community that we create, and we're able to network with each other. That's huge for me.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, Patty, because a lot of people that I see online, they'll be like, well, you can't, I really want that connection that you get in person. And I've talked to a lot of people that have said that they've went through in-person trainings and then they never talked to like the teacher again. They never talked to the people in their class again. And the thing about being online, especially now, is a lot of us spend more time online. Like we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, wherever. And then it's really cool just to be like, oh, there's Patty. Oh, there's, all these people that have gone through the trainings. And it really does feel like that support system because it doesn't go away. You continually see these people. And another thing that I want to say is if you want to go through a local training and you have a teacher there that you love a local teacher, you love how they teach, whatever, then take the training with them. Sure, why not? But the thing about taking a program with me online is if you really like me, right? You like my method, you like the kind of community that I've created, you see all the support that everybody's giving, you see the non-judgmentalness, you see how skilled and confident the teachers are that come out of my program. If those things are important to you, yes, then take my program, right? Because the program can be with you for the rest of your life. It depends on you. If you want to stay in the community forever, you can stay in the community forever. So I think that that's just really important to talk about. Okay, so how did I get to that from how do you sign up? So I don't know. But okay, so the question I was asking myself is how do you sign up? You can go to the website, like I said, and then Patty put that in the comments. But there I've got 3 different payment plans. So there's 3 different payment plans on there. If one of those payment plans does not work for you, just message me. Message me and ask me, or if it feels less scary, message Patty. I'm sure she won't mind. Okay, just message us and ask us, how can I make a payment plan? Because sometimes people might say, okay, well, I've got $500 to put down, but then I can only pay $100 a month for a few months, and then I can make another big payment or things like that. Like that's totally fine. I will work with you. If you can't make, I don't even know what the payment plans are, but if you can't make like a $350 a month payment plan work, I totally get it. It's fine. The only caveat to that is that you don't get your certificate until all the payments are in. So you've got to finish all the work and then you've got to get all the payments in, and that just that protects me, right? Because if I give you your certificate and you haven't made all the payments, then I mean, you could just stop paying me. I've never had anybody really do that because you guys are all really awesome that sign up for the program. So I know I don't really have to worry about that. But that is how you would sign up. Now, so if one of those payment plans doesn't work for you and you want to figure out something else, like I can pay this now, I can pay that later, I can do this amount a month, message us, we'll figure it out. And then what you can do is just either Venmo or PayPal me the deposit. So the deposit's just $250. So Venmo or PayPal that to me, and then that will get you registered as like one of the first students to sign up, because we still do have some of the bonuses. So to get the bonus, you don't have to pay in full. You just have to make the deposit to let us know that you're serious and you're going to continue, right? Okay, so Patty, I'm going to let you talk for a little bit just because I've been talking for a while and now I'm out of breath. So do you just want to talk a little bit about like how much work is the program going to be weekly? What are they kind of looking at here?
Well, besides meeting weekly, we meet every Sunday for about 3 hours for the live classes. There's probably about an hour or so of homework a day if you kind of, time it out. So doing a little bit of your own practice, and then we have a couple of books that you'll need to get to be reading. They're all super easy reads and they're fast reads and they're super interesting, so don't worry about it. But probably about an hour a day to put aside and you should be able to get through all of the material. There's a lot, but it's all interesting. Even the anatomy section, which everyone's kind of like, oh, anatomy. It's functional, intuitive anatomy. It's how you move your body and how how to get into poses. It's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I know that that's something that's lacking. People feel like they're lacking a lot in anatomy. And I feel like this program really gives you exactly like what you said, like how my approach is very intuitive and how the body actually moves. So it's not like you have to remember all of these crazy terms, you know, that you feel like you're going to have to use forever, but it'll really help you to embody just how things are supposed to work functionally in your body. So like Patty said, mostly we meet on Sundays, and the dates are on the website, like I said, at crystalgray.me/300-hour-training. All of the dates are listed out on there, and we usually do meet for about 3 hours on those. I don't think we've ever met for less usually. I had an optional class the other day for my 200-hour, and we met for an hour and a half, but that's pretty much the shortest, because what we do in those classes is we talk about everything that's come up during that week. And the thing that's a little bit different about the 500-hour is that we really, you know, we're all certified at the 200-hour level already. So whenever you get to the 500-hour, it's really about, let's bring all of your perspectives to the table. And what did you think about that? And how can you kind of contribute to, you know, based on your past and your experiences? So we're really bringing all of those things to the table. So we do have a little bit more discussion around, like, what did that bring up for you? And like, how will you translate that to your students, and how will that make you a better teacher, and how did that affect your personal practice? How did that help you overcome certain things? And a lot of things that we cover really do, it's a lot around mindset. Yes, we're focusing on, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think Gigi is doing something.
Oh, okay. Because I just had something weird happen in my headset.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, we all bring all of our own experiences to the table, and that's what really makes it unique. And that helps us to learn a lot more. So if you have, you know, a different shaped body than maybe I have, you might ask me questions like, well, okay, that works for your body, but that doesn't really work for my body. And I've learned so much throughout teaching the programs, but especially I learn a lot in the 500-hour, because everybody feels comfortable to bring up their kind of own, I don't want to call them issues, but like, this is how it works for me. And so I'm like, oh, that's a really good point. I'm going to actually start teaching it that way. So I've changed a lot of how I teach depending on the things that I learn, because it's never ending. You will continually learn. And I think that that's the mark of a great yoga teacher and a confident yoga teacher, because if you're not confident, it's really scary to change, right? It's like, oh no, that's not what I learned. I'm always going to stay like this. But things are constantly evolving. We're constantly learning new things. You know, like back in the day where maybe we would touch students a lot. Nowadays, especially with everything that we know about trauma and things like that, that might not be a great thing just to go around, you know, touching your students. However, in my programs, I teach how to make adjustments, not only verbally, but also physically. But the thing is that if you know how to cue really, really well, you don't ever have to touch your students. You know, do I touch my students in person sometimes? Well, you know, not talking about COVID without that. Yes, I do, but it's usually things that will feel good. If they're in child's pose, yes, I might push down on their hips or things like that. But it's people that I know and have been in my classes, and things like that. But I digress. All right, so what are some of the topics that we're going to get into, Patty? This is also on the website, because there's a lot.
So besides anatomy, we talk about Kundalini. We have also Ayurveda, and we have an amazing, freaking amazing guest teacher, Astra, who comes in and helps with that. And then we do touch on restorative with Tammy, and it's just like the most delightful class that you'll ever take. And then we have like another section on business with Amy. But then there's also Crystal's business approach, and it is like absolutely phenomenal. And then we do kind of a deep dive into meditation and the Joe Dispenza, like his method. So those are kind of, I think, the main points that we touch on.
Yes. Yeah, those are the main points, and with the guest teachers for sure. And if you want more information on everything else that we get into, because there is a lot. And we also do that section on the chakras, right? We go through, do we do that in the 500? Okay. So we go through the chakras, which is really interesting. But again, it's like the things that we're learning, it's not just like learn all of this and memorize all this. It's more like how can you use this in your own practice to transform your life in your practice? Then, because once you do that, you're so much more able to translate that to your students instead of just having to memorize things. So I think that that's really important to acknowledge. All right, so how long is the training? Well, we start in August. If you get signed up early, what we can do is actually give you guys access to some portions of the program so that you can go ahead and get started and just kind of get a little bit of a jump start so that you don't feel like you're super overwhelmed. But we really try to make it so that you're not overwhelmed. We have it all listed out. Patty's so good at just getting the homework listed out so that you know exactly what you should be doing each week. And if you get behind, I mean, usually people don't really get too far behind. And I think that comes a lot from the support. We've got usually a group message thread going, and that just kind of keeps people going. You know, sometimes people be like, oh, I didn't get my live in on time. I'm so sorry. You know, this happened. And we just all lift each other up, and it's so amazing to watch. Even though I can't reply to every single message that I see in the comment thread come through, it's so cool to watch you guys, you know, all of the students supporting each other. So that being said, it goes through December, and then the only thing that we have to do in January are our finals. So technically you'll be done in December, but then we do have our finals in January, just so that we can make sure that you've really taken everything that you've learned during the training and put it together. And what we do is we have you do a workshop. So in my 200-hour training, I have people just come up with an hour-long class and a sequence, and people usually come up with a sequence, and then I help them and refine it. And who is this class for? You know, what's your point with this class? What are you trying to do? In the 500-hour, we take it one step further, and then I'm really thinking about business and how it's going to impact your business and how you can use this, how you can walk away with something after the training. So what we focus on is helping you develop a workshop around your dream clients. Who are the people that you really, really feel like you want to serve now? It might not be this, you might not be serving the same people forever, but who do you really want to serve now? And who would light you up? You know, who would light you up to be helping them at this moment? And then what we do is we come up with a workshop. So what you can do is that workshop could be a free workshop that you teach live in person. It could be a workshop that I highly recommend that it's free. And the reason why is because what you can do with that is then you can upsell them into a 6-week course. So people can come take your workshop. Are you a good fit? Do they feel like you can help them? And that's really your opportunity to show them how you can help them, right? So that we get really clear on what it is. So a lot of people, you know, if I ask, who do you want to help? It's like, I want to help everybody, you know, but it's really hard to get people to come to your workshop and you're laughing because it's true, right? It is true. You do want to help everybody. I get it. I want to help everybody too, but I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea because I am who I am, and that's okay. But whenever you're teaching that workshop specifically for a certain type of person, maybe it's like, I'm just going to use me as an example. Maybe I would see somewhere that someone's teaching a yoga class for people in recovery that maybe have been, you know, sober for 1+ years, and they just want to kind of reaffirm things. They want to relearn things just to really solidify their recovery. This is something I'm kind of going through right now, so I'm just being honest and transparent with you guys. That's what I would be looking for right now. So if you teach that, let me know and we can talk. But so then that's going to really pull me in. I'm going to be like, oh, that's for me. Now, if it was broader than that, it wouldn't resonate with me, right? And so you want exactly those dream clients in there, because I'm gonna be like, oh, she can help me. And then I'd be like, heck yeah, I'm signing up for your 6-week thing. I need that, right? So this is really what it gives you. It gives you that thing that you could this plan that you could walk away with. And then it's not like after the program, I'm gonna kick you out. I've got the opportunity for you to continue working with me, right? So that we can continue going. We can really implement that plan if you need a little bit more hand-holding, but you will have a kick-ass plan to follow when you are done with this. Patty, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, just the way that you help us figure out our niche and kind of kick us in the booty a little bit. Really, like, you've got your niche, now niche it down even more. You know, I think you gave the example of like an eye surgeon. Like if you were going to go see an eye surgeon, you want to not only see the best, but the one that specializes in your age and your demographic and all of that. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what you force us to do, which it's a butt kicker, but it definitely, I mean, it helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I gave that example. Like, and it's like, okay, so would you just go to a doctor if you had this crazy thing going on with your eye? Would you just say, let's say it's glaucoma related? Would you just go to a doctor? I mean, if that's your only option, maybe. Would you go to an eye doctor? Would you be more likely to go to an eye doctor? Yeah. Would you be more likely to go to an eye doctor that specializes in glaucoma? Yeah. Would you be more, and so that's just what Patty said, just kind of going down and down and down. That's going to resonate with you. All right, so Patty, can you just talk a little bit about, in some programs, they don't get a lot of feedback on their personal practice. It's kind of like, not all of their programs are like this, but a lot of times people will go through a program where they feel like they're just learning a lot and digesting a lot, but maybe not actually putting it into action. So you can talk a little bit about feedback and support that's in this program.
Yes, I am here to give feedback. We're not looking for the perfect pose. We're looking to make sure that you know how to embody the pose, how to teach it, how to modify it for you. And so that is what my feedback does. I look at your poses, I go over what you're doing, we kind of talk about it. I have a spreadsheet that you get every single week that continues to update and update and update, so you can kind of see your progress as you've gone along.
That's so awesome. I love that. Yeah, and so then just like the level of support that you get is if you have questions on that, you can ask Patty. If it's a question that Patty can't really answer, if it's something specifically for me, yes, you can message me. Like, it's okay. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I don't talk to anybody, but because I want to be part of your training and of your journey as well. Of course, we're all in this together. And then the other level of support comes from the group messages and just that community that we build. And I see some of my 200-hour students on here, and they totally know what we're talking about. And Vanessa says, y'all make and help us get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Exactly. Because it's not about just being like, okay, I'm going to walk out one day and then I will be totally awesome at teaching and I will not be uncomfortable at all. No, it's like, let's push through that. Let's keep going anyway. Let's feel that and keep going. All right, so let me just see if there's anything else. So at the very end of this program, you guys will also have the option of upgrading with a trauma sensitivity certificate, and that is with one of my amazing friends and colleague, Stephanie. She sometimes helps with retreats and things like that, and she is just, I mean, so freaking knowledgeable. And the reason why we didn't make it part of the course is because it's just so much information and not everybody's really interested in that. So I don't want to make you guys do it. But for those of you that are interested in it at all, or maybe are teaching in the scope of like recovery or, anything like that where people have anxiety or anything specific like that, I think it's really important to continue on and take that. And then I, of course, give you a discount on that. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you guys want to see more information with the dates and the times, it is 10:30 to 1:30 on Sundays usually, and that's Central Time, Chicago time. So you can just look and see if that works up for you. Yes, you can miss up to 2 classes. We do record them if anybody's going to miss and share them with you. It's really nice to be online or to be live if possible, because then you get that feedback. And then what we also do besides just talking about the week is, I mean, it's like we could probably talk for 3 hours just about the homework, but usually we just talk about what we went over, talk about the struggles and kind of address those things. But then we also practice teach and we do things like that. So we can break out into rooms on Zoom and you guys can actually practice teach with each other just to really help refine and hone your skills. So I think that's about all of the things that I really wanted to touch on. Patty, is there the question I wanted to ask you, and we can wrap up with, what did you walk away with after having this 500-hour? Like, not just like tangible things, like I walked away with a workshop, but besides that.
I mean, what I walked away with was confidence. Just knowing that I am good enough to teach and that I trust myself to teach was huge. I also walked away knowing that I have a business plan and that I'm growing my business because the tools that you have are amazing. And I mean, if everybody who goes through your program implements the tools that you give them, you will have a successful business. You have to implement them. You have to actually do the work, and it's not easy, but you will have a successful business.
Yeah, for sure. And that's just such a great point, because the thing is, you guys can take training after training and certificate after certificate, but if you don't implement anything, yeah, you're just going to keep spinning your wheels. And I think that that's what's really important. And I think if you're wondering, would this program be for me? It's like, this program would be for you if you're ready to take everything that you've learned and implement it and start moving forward. Because like I said, you can know so much information, but if you don't know, first of all, how to embody it in your own practice, how to translate it to students, and who you're really meant to serve, plus having the business tools there, and the support, it can be hard to know what are my next steps, and so, people might look at the price and be like, oh, that's a little bit scary, but it really is a mentorship and coaching program. And if you just do a simple Google search for any sort of mentorship or coaching, I mean, it's expensive, and there's a lot that are way more expensive than what my program is, but this is specifically for yoga teachers. So I just really like to make that clarification too. I think that that is what sets my program apart, is it is like a mentorship program. So you're really kind of getting a 2-for-1 and a really huge bang for your buck. You're getting a lot for your money. So yeah. All right. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for being here, for being live, for watching the replay. I'm really, really excited. We do still have some of the bonuses left. So, like I said, you don't have to pay in full to get the bonuses. Just figure out how to get a deposit down or start those payment plans, and then you will be signed up as one of those first whatever students. And don't worry, you all get a present from me, because I love giving you presents. So don't worry, you will get that. And yeah, thank you, Patty, so much for being on with us today. You're just such a joy to be around. You have such a lovely energy, and you're a really good compliment to my energy, which can be really kind of up here, especially whenever I'm teaching. But it's funny because I'm not always up here. Whenever I'm not teaching, I am kind of just down here. But I don't know, something about teaching just kind of, it really lights me up, and it's how I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So, all right, Patty, thanks so much. And thank you, everybody else. You guys have a great day. Message me with any questions at all. If you feel more comfortable messaging Patty, go ahead and hit her up. All right.
Bye.
Bye.